Now, I'm going to pass it to Angelica Jongco, who's going to share some history and grounding around community schools.
Thanks so much, Jamaica. Hi, everyone. I'm Angelica Jongco, Deputy Managing Attorney with the Education Equity Team at Public Advocates, and I co-lead the California Partnerships Anchor Team. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you this evening to share some history and grounding. Our California partnership came together 7 years ago, but it's been decades that so many of us and our organizations have been working together towards the North Star vision that King shared earlier, a vision of a transformational education system of racially just community schools that equitably serves all our students. Our work over time has been grounded in the belief that authentic co-governance with students, families, community, educators, and system leaders, together with full and equitable funding and resources, is how we create schools where all of our students thrive, racially just schools rooted in our communities, where students are learning to their full potential, experience joy and belonging. Let's first look back on where we've come from. Grounded in this theory of change, our folks went door to door in 2012 to win more money for schools, specifically $7 to $8 billion annually in Prop 30 funding. This new revenue helped make possible our historic school funding reform, the local control funding formula. This was the culmination of a decade of organizing to make California's funding system more equitable. A few years later, many of the organizations working on the ground to strengthen our schools through the shared decision-making and greater resources that LCFF promised formed our California partnership. In 2020, we went hard for even more funding through the Schools and Communities First Ballot Initiative. But when COVID-19 shut down our school buildings and business as usual, our partnership had to pivot. We spoke with over 600 low-income students and families of color across the state and amplified their needs and priorities in this unprecedented time. It's hard to believe it's been 4 years, huh? These are the top things we heard, and they're still relevant today. Number one, prioritize mental health and student relationships. 2, provide equitable access to learning supports and opportunities. 3, engage students and families as partners. And 4, reimagine school safety and culture. As first responders on the front lines, it was the schools and educators operating within a community schools model that were best able to support and partner with their students and families. As a result, we advocated for transformative, racially just, relationship-centered community schools, grounded in strong partnerships with our communities, where every student feels belonging and loves learning. And state leaders heard us, investing over $4.1 billion towards this strategy in 2021 and 2022. And since then, we've continued to collaborate for strong implementation of transformative, racially just community schools at the school, district, and state level. Together, we're working to make sure this strategy works. We're building capacity directly with most impacted students and their families to develop and implement the Community Schools Partnership Program at every level of the system in partnership with districts, counties, and state agencies. For example, the California Partnership with the Alliance for Boys and Men of Color produced this expanded framework for a transformational community schools approach, based on the feedback of over 600 students, families, educators, and community partners across the state at Department of Education hosted regional forums. We heard the following conditions are necessary for strong teaching and learning: active student, family, and community engagement, shared power and collaborative leadership and practices, enriched, culturally sustaining and expanded learning opportunities, integrated student, family, and staff supports, and racially just and relationship-centered school cultures. Thanks to so many of you here, California's Community Schools Framework to guide statewide school transformation aligns to this approach. While today we're seeking to protect the historic California Community Schools Partnership Program, to be clear, transformative community schools are not a single program or funding source. They're an approach to how we do school in California. Grounded in the unique needs and strengths of a community, this strategy transforms a school into a place where educators, local community members, families, and students work together to strengthen conditions for student learning and healthy development so that all students can thrive. Extensive research shows that a community schools approach is effective over time to reduce racial and economic equity gaps and improve academic achievement, student attendance, graduation rates, and adult and peer-to-peer relationships. For example, students at Lost Hills Union Elementary experienced double-digit growth in English language arts and math proficiency and are among the lowest 5 districts in chronic absenteeism in Kern County 5 years into their community schools journey. While the Community Schools Partnership Program is only in its 2nd year, the Community Schools approach is already having an impact. And we're lucky to be able to hear from folks on the ground about this tonight. Because of the hard work of so many of you, California is taking bold action, investing in this intentional and effective strategy for making sure school works for all students, especially Black, Indigenous, multilingual learners, and all those who've historically been furthest from educational opportunity. School and system leaders, students, parents, and educators are hungry to make the most of this chance to reimagine and redesign their schools. Across 2 rounds of planning and implementation grants, demand has exceeded the supply of available grants. The 3rd and largest cohort of implementation grants will be announced at the May State Board of Education meeting. Even so, many planning grantees and high-need schools have yet to receive funding. The 4th round next year will be the last chance, and we know the funding won't be enough to meet the great need. All our students deserve this opportunity to create schools where they can learn to their full potential in a community of joy and belonging. I want to repeat that because I'm saying that not just as an advocate, but as a mother, at the chair of my school site council. We have to really believe it and we have to make it true. All our students deserve this opportunity to create schools where they can learn to their full potential in a community of joy and belonging. That's why we're seeking to protect this funding. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so grateful to everyone here. Together, we can continue to strengthen and transform our public education system to be a place where all students feel seen, valued, and supported to reach their full potential.